This year, DJI announced something super exciting, their first ever single-handed gimbal stabilizer, the Ronin S. And today, we're gonna take it for a spin. For those of you who don't know, DJI are a leading brand in selling gimbal stabilizers and drone products. The DJI Ronin S is a 3-axis gimbal stabilizer designed for DSLR and mirrorless kits with a tested payload of up to 3.6 kilograms. So I decided to ditch my real estate videography career and stick with what I'm good at. So firstly, I'm just going to give you the first impressions on the Ronin S, and I'll start with what I like about the design. So firstly, at the bottom of the Ronin S, you've got 2 screws. You've got a 1/4 inch and a 3/8 inch screw thread. And it comes with this really nice tripod, which you can use to balance your gimbal or use to mount it onto a table, so you can use the time-lapse functions or basically any other way to just leave the Ronin S by itself. The best thing about the tripod is that it's so strong, it can hold a DSLR kit quite comfortably at the top of the gimbal. Secondly, moving up on the Ronin S, the actual grip/battery is all rubberized, so when you're holding it and using it for long-term use, it's really comfortable to use, and especially with the nice ergonomics on it as well. Moving up again, you've got the focus wheel on the side. The best thing about the focus wheel on the Ronin S is that you can disattach it and attach it onto the other side. So if you're left or right-handed, you can position it accordingly. Fourthly, on the back of the Ronin S, you've got a 4-way joystick, which feels amazing. It's kind of similar to something like the DJI Mavic controller with those joysticks. And you've got 3 buttons. So you've got a mode button and a record button at the back. And at the front of the gimbal, you've got a trigger. So this trigger will allow you to reposition your camera back to the home position, and if you tap it 3 times, it can rotate 180 into selfie mode. In terms of the feeling of the mode, the record and the trigger buttons, they feel amazing and quite responsive. And moving up to the top, you've got a nice toolless design, so it's really easy to balance and adjust when needed, and it's got an offset roll motor, so for cameras that don't have an articulating screen, you can view your screen when you're recording. Now just onto the things I don't like about the Ronin S. So firstly, although it's great that it's a modular design and you can attach it onto other things and it's not reliant on the grip, straight out of the box, if you're going to be using it with the grip, the battery is actually housed inside the grip, and the port to charge the actual grip is located onto the motor. So what that means is you need to attach the motor and the grip together to actually charge the unit. Luckily, it's fast with a USB-C charging port, which is rated to be around 2.5 hours charging time. But let's say in the future you decide to buy a second grip, then you'll need to charge the second grip with the motor, take it out, and then charge your first grip again. Hopefully there's a dock or some kind of proprietary charger later on, so you can just charge the grip separately. Secondly, there's one thing that really peeves me about the Ronin S, and it's the locking mechanism on the side. So at the top, it's got the same locking mechanism for the quick release system, but also a button to actually release the plate. On the actual motor and grip locking mechanism, it's literally just this switch. And with this locking mechanism switch, it's so important because it's housing your actual motor and your camera at the top. And if you just accidentally move it on a job or anything, your whole motor is just gonna fall off. This is really prominent as well. So let's say you're left-handed and you've moved your focus wheel on the right-hand side. This whole locking mechanism is quite free, and really there's not much resistance to it. So when you're using the gimbal, just make sure to keep your hands clear of this section. Otherwise, you're gonna lose more than your motor. You're gonna lose your precious glass and your camera on top as well. And the last thing as well with the Ronin S that really kind of confuses me is that the quick release system does not take Manfrotto 501PL plates. The 501PL plates are actually a bit too wide for the top, so it doesn't fit properly, which means that you're going to have to use the DJI plate that comes supplied in the box. Speaking of the box, you get a styrofoam case for the DJI Ronin S, which is similar from the material that you would get in a DJI Phantom case. Upon opening the case, you'll notice that there's this small hard case, which is really cool. It houses all your cables for cable management at the top, and on the inside as well for all your little tripod accessories for your plate. Secondly, as well, when you're packing the actual Ronin S back into the box, unfortunately, you do need to disassemble it. So you'll need to take off the grip, put it in that section, and you'll need to adjust the roll and the tilt axis again to get it back into the box, which for some people may be a bit annoying. My arms! So this gimbal, literally I just did 3 runs down the hill and my left arm is straining. I think it weighs around 1.86 kilograms without the camera. So yeah, it's a bit heavy. So after a few downhill sessions using the gimbal, I'm pretty wrecked. But I'm going to talk about the performance impressions on the Ronin S without holding it. So firstly, as you would expect from a DJI stabilizer, the Ronin S stabilizes amazing. Those gimbals are so strong that you can be confident by mounting your DSLR system on it or a mirrorless with a big lens and it will work with confidence. In terms of speed, you saw me operating it on my skateboard. I wasn't going too fast, but the Ronin S can operate up to 75 kilometers per hour, which is pretty neat. In terms of its actual axes on the Ronin S, on the roll axis, you can get 360 degrees, and you can get a continuous rotation of also 360 degrees. Later on, DJI are going to release a piece of hardware and some software that will allow you to have a virtual or a wireless gimbal operator, so someone can actually operate the gimbal away from you, which is pretty neat. In terms of the battery life, we've used it for a bit now. It hasn't really gone down that much, and DJI rate it for up to 12 hours of battery life, which is pretty solid. Like its competitors on the market, if you plug a compatible camera into the Ronin S, you can utilize its full features such as the follow focus. And what we really liked about the Ronin S, apart from DJI's amazing software, is the actual time-lapse function on this. So it's super easy to use. All you have to do is you map a couple waypoints, set your duration, and away it goes, and it will film your time-lapse. And finally, in terms of using the Ronin S, if you are a beginner videographer or just starting in that realm of the video world, this gimbal is super easy to use. Not only is it easy to balance, but the performance on it is amazing and quite forgiving if you do make kind of like jerky movements. The only thing though is that it is heavy, so you may need a few sessions at the gym to operate it for a long period of time. If you're looking for a reliable gimbal stabilizer for your DSLR or mirrorless kit, the DJI Ronin S is the gimbal for you. With high reliable and strong motor performance, backed up with the amazing DJI software, the Ronin S is huge bang for your buck and definitely lives up to the hype. In terms of its design, there are a couple issues with it, but honestly, it's super easy to use and quite ergonomic for even people who have never picked up a gimbal stabilizer before. It's never been easier to produce cinematic video, and the DJI Ronin S really makes it easy. If you have any questions about the Ronin S, make sure to pop them in the comments below. make sure to follow our Facebook, Instagram, and our blog. Links to the description for those are below to read full written reviews and just to see what's going on in store. If you liked our video, make sure to hit the like button and the subscribe button so you don't miss out on our next video. Firstly, at the bottom of the Ronin S, you've got a nice tripod which you can screw and unscrew.